let's get started with the introductions. As I said, Eternal Empire for game number 1 in this best of 5. Let's get into it.
All right, up here in the top right-hand side of the map, a champion, and of course the IEM Katowice 2018 world champion as well, the generic Green Wings player. It is Rogue.
And in the bottom left, our most recent world champion, it is the Blue Zerg, Dark.
Another potential trophy in the trophy case for Dark. It would be massive if he could take this one out. And of course, for Rogue to win a second one, that would be the first time ever that a player has won 2 world IEM Katowice World Championships before. And it's such a hard tournament as well. I mean, winning 2 BlizzCons is something SOS did once, and it was, really epic and huge, but I almost feel like winning 2 Katowices is more difficult. It's such a gauntlet of players over so many days. You've got to maintain form over such a long period.
And, and sometimes it is the first tournament of the year, the first really big tournament of a new patch as well, which sometimes favors some people, more than others. They've actually had like a fairly consistent round of 24 and on. But yeah, it can be just a huge mix-up, and instead we just get shown over and over again who is best. So some people are a little bit better. Some people perhaps getting more favorable matchups, like Zest and all his PvPs is once again allowing him to make it forward in this particular IEM. But what is it for Rogue and Dark? Is ZvZ going to be their ticket forward, or unfortunately a ticket out? I mean, Dark just showed us some amazing ZvZ against Solar, knocked him out, even though Solar is no slouch in the matchup.
And it's cool to see, of course, that whoever does get out of this match, if they can make it through the semi-finals, there is, of course, either Zest or Cyril waiting from the upper side of the bracket. But no matter what, I think it is going to be the best Zerg player from Korea spat out of this match. It's really exciting to see where this one goes. And we saw Dark take up the aggressive mantle against Solar for the most part in that series, especially in that back and forth game on Nightshade earlier. But he showed that in the late game, he knew how to play it out really well. He was behind, his Viper micro was on point. And of course, Dark, I really think his movement all game long is what looked most incredible. His ability to run by into mineral lines and just move his army around and constantly threaten without overcommitting, just excellent skill from Dark.
Absolutely. It was really a sight to see watching it back in the green room, actually. But I said I had some tidbits for you guys. They did recently plan an online qualifier a couple months back, but still on these maps on this patch. And it was actually Rogue really starting off the aggression and also being, I guess he preferred to go Mutas faster, and that Dark never went for Aspire himself. And on Eternal Empire, we actually had a really interesting reaction from Dark to go into a Corruptor-based defense. Now, I'm not going to look that far into the future and say it's going to look exactly like that best of 5, but Dark certainly looked good against the offense of Rogue. And we do have a fast evolution chamber here from our Red Zerg going for a fast +1 Carapace. Feels like it's been a while since I've seen this.
Yeah, a bit of a blast from the past. Straight into Baneling Nest with that as well. Not going for the ultimate greed of going straight Roach Warren. That, of course, does lead into some super powerful +1 Carapace Roachling attacks. The Baneling Nest is going to give a little bit of extra defense as time goes on. And right now, I mean, we've seen Dark in these early games just hold down the worker key in that whole series earlier, and he's doing it again. Just rushing up into the 40s of workers. Not going to be punishing the delayed Baneling Nest from Rogue.
As I said, it feels like it's been a while, but definitely have to talk about that +1 Carapace. You can take an extra shot from a Baneling. I mean, you're left with very, very little HP, so your Lings probably clean everything up, or their Lings rather could, but you do have an extra shot. It also does affect the units you would generally see in a ZvZ, that is Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers, whereas +1 melee, not so much. So we'll see him be perhaps a bit aggressive with the Lings, actually start poking around, kind of a skill check almost with that ZvZ, but then what is his plans with the +1 specifically?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Obviously, it is going to be finishing in about, what, 30 seconds? And there we go, the Lings do start up. So Rogue, of course, going to go for a pressure. If he can force a Ling-on-Ling battle at that moment, it's going to be very nice. But Banelings for Dark coming up, and he's walled off the entrance to the natural, so there's really only one direction he can come in from here. Already one Baneling up, more Banelings on the way, just has to buy time for those to finish.
A little more than a skill check in this regard, but it might look that way for Dark initially, and he's going to be like, whoa, actually, yeah, +1 Carapace. Starting off okay, some Lings dart into the main base, and of course he's going to try and get those Banelings in the main as well, but Dark, he should be aware that is highly likely to happen, but he's got a lot to focus on right now. More Lings coming from Rogue's side of the map, but his Queen's so far holding strong.
They're so low, both Queens deep in the red, finally gonna get focused down, and ouch! Oh, Baneling's in the main as well. The Queen there, she's trying to focus them down. Good defense in the main base. Remember, Dark was so far ahead on Workers and is managing to hold on in the natural in the main, but the third base is under siege. Lots of Zerglings coming in. Just 40 Workers for Rogue. Dark still has the edge there, but he's trying to get into Roaches, but I think he needs more Banelings right now.
The Rogue is piling on the pressure. He's also going for Roaches behind this, so Dark not only needs to take care of the Lings here, not get surrounded, but then also worry about his own opponent's Roaches. That third base is under extreme pressure. The Banelings are coming forward to try and deal with this, but again, they need to have 2 shots to actually clean all this up.
Nice here. The splits on the Zerglings, trying to get rid of them. Rogue would love to take out that third hatchery. The massive Zerglings here was just waiting to come back in, but now more Banelings, more Roaches. Rogue has to disengage. Dark, a beautiful save on the third base. I thought that was doomed, but he hangs on to it.
Oh yeah, that was very, very close. He also, I believe he dipped a little low in the drones, but he's actually back up on it. So despite losing a lot of workers, he is good to go on the economy. As far as production goes, he's been watching the mini-map. He knows that Rogue has been sending Roaches across the map. He got a little supply block, looks like, for a second there, and he's actually starting to drone a little bit. Is this overconfidence, or does he not realize what's being committed?
Has he not been watching his mini-map? I don't know. I feel like this is not a great attack, but the moment drone started up, I thought maybe it is. Obviously looking for the third hatch is Rogue. He's still down in Workers. Lots of Banelings, lots of Roaches coming in. A good split there from Dark, minimizing the Baneling damage and still using his own Zerglings to delay the Lings, but now the Lings come in and a huge wraparound there for Rogue, using a Ravager Cocoon to try to save a low hit point Roach. It gets focused by Dark, but that's not enough.
Oh yeah, what